him.
Yeah.
Could I just
what's your
bring in?
thoughts on that?
Sorry, Kev.
Yeah,
Could I
go
just
on,
bring
go
in
on,
quickly?
Dan.
Sorry, Kev, because there's a real good super chat that I think Soph will be able to answer in terms of Ronaldo. So this is from A Noonan. Thanks for your kind donation, much appreciated. Sophie, it says following the Roy Keane and Jamie Carragher debate regarding Ronaldo. What is this British press agenda? Is the question. But Ronaldo has to start, he's saying, and I hope he does against the Arsenal. What's your opinion on this one? Do you think you're a better side with or without Ronaldo?
Where would we be without his goals this season? That's all
Yeah,
I'm going to say.
exactly.
Where would we be? Like, I do not understand this. How is he the problem? Like, I don't understand it. Don't get me wrong. I know he doesn't press and whatnot, but look at the players we've got in our squad. We're not like Ronaldo is Ronaldo. You know for a fact. Lee said it earlier. You might be poor for 89 minutes, but if he gets half a chance, and he's going to make something of that. And it's just you can't put a price on that. To be honest with you, I don't understand the claims that he's the problem. I don't get that. For me, like I say, without him this season, I dread to think where we would be. He's just so clinically in front of goal, and he just makes stuff happen. I mean, the Champions League would be out of it by now. He literally carried us through that group stage.
Dan, Ronaldo's a big game player, isn't he? He's a big game player. You can drop him against, the smaller teams, no problem. Let him rest. Mm-hmm. But in the big games, he's probably kept Ollie in a job for for 5, 6, 7 weeks. Let's be honest. Every time they came back from being behind, who was it? It was Ronaldo. Always Ronaldo. So for me, if he doesn't play in this game, I will be delighted. I can tell you that much.
He's playing. Surely he's playing.
No, Sophie, no. We want the same team that started against Chelsea. Lee, what's your thoughts on Ronaldo starting? Do you want him to start?
No, he's going to start though, because I think it was very clever of what they done it on Sunday for us, because he's 36 years of age. He cannot continue to play Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, Saturday, Tuesday, what he has been doing. He needed to have a rest. And I think that game was where, let's be honest, Manchester United weren't going to have much percentage of the ball. So there's a lot of times they're going to be chasing and whatever. So they thought, well, if that's the game to leave him out and rest him, that was the game. And I thought Man United, to be fair, and this is nothing against Ronaldo, were doing really, really well until he come on. And then, I think that was 1-0 up when he come on. I'm not saying it was down to him, but I just think the way that they were playing and everything like that. And then, but when he comes up against us, as Sophie said, I was watching. I can't remember the team that was playing. It was they were low. It was 1-1 with a couple of seconds to go. He's volleyed one in, and they've won the group because of it. Like, do you know what I mean? In the Champions League,
he scored, didn't he? He scored against Villarreal.
He scored about 10 goals so far. And for me, football has gone, all about stats and things like that. But the most important thing about it is who scores the goals, and he scores goals, and that's what he does. And if he doesn't score, then maybe there's a problem, we ain't doing this and that. But 9 times out of 10, he bloody does score. You know what I mean? So, and listen, he's not the Ronaldo that I watched in the Champions League final against Juventus at Wales, in Wales that time when I was in awe of him. I actually watched him that day, and the Messi and Ronaldo debate was put to bed for me. Like, you know what I mean? I've been thankful enough and lucky enough to watch them both live. Fantastic footballers, but Ronaldo wins it for me. And so it'd be interesting. And he's 36 years of age now, and he's still tearing. People turn around and go, "Oh, you can't do it in the Premiership." You know what I mean? But he's 36 and he's come back and doing it in the Premiership. You can't knock him for it.
Wasn't there criticism about his sprints as well? And someone produced some stats, and he'd sprinted just as much as the likes of Kane and that this season, and all the top strikers in the league.
Yeah, see, I don't get it. I don't understand this. I really don't get this, man. Because I know, Lee says he's 36, but and I know this because my body's a little bit similar to Cristiano Ronaldo's. We both of course. So, you know what I mean? And we look after ourselves. But listen, he is. I'd play him every game. I don't care what anyone says. He is the best, one of the best players I've ever seen. And I've always been Messi ahead of Ronaldo. I always have. And it's hard to compare the two, to be fair, because different leagues and all that. But when people say no, Ronaldo's better, you can't sit there and argue because the both of them are just world class and have been for so many years now. So if your name's Messi or Ronaldo, I'm playing you every game if I'm the manager. I'm sorry, I am, because you're two of the best players I've ever seen. So Ronaldo will play, and trust me, he'll probably score against Arsenal because he used to like to do that quite a lot. So if he plays, it's worrying for us massively.
I think the one thing with Ronaldo, and you know, Sophie, Kevin, you might be able to want to answer this as well. I don't think there was any plan for him to come back to the football club. I honestly think that Manchester City, he was going to go Manchester City, and they couldn't have had that. So that, you know, and I think that's messed up the Sancho thing because he's obviously, and I think that put a little bit of pressure on Ollie what to do. I'm not, you know, it all had it in place. Always going to do this and do that. The opportunity to sign Ronaldo come along, you can't turn that down. You know what I mean? Like, especially when he's going to go to their main road. One over Manchester City. Because I'll tell you this now, if Ronaldo was in that Manchester City side, they would romp the league because he doesn't need to press and do whatever that. He just needs to bang the ball in the back of the net and he can. But Manchester United are not quite at that level of Manchester City at this moment in time. I love the argument about you know, what did they get Ronaldo in for, titles and all that? It wasn't about getting in titles. It was about getting Ronaldo back to the football club. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a massive...
Beating City to it.
Yeah, and beating City to it. I think it was a massive... It may not be in the short term, but I think for the long run, I think it was the perfect fit because Manchester City would have gone on and maybe... I think... Can you imagine it if Manchester City won the league and the Champions League this season with Ronaldo in it? Like, they could not
Ronaldo lifting it, no.
They could not let that happen.
I'm a fan of the Sky Sports pundits, but no, you're all right. So I'm a fan of the Sky Sports pundits, but I was with Roy Keane on this one. I didn't really understand what Carragher was on about because they've signed Ronaldo. Yeah, he might not be able to win you the league, but I don't actually believe if Manchester United, and I might be wrong here, so I don't think Man United fans thought they could win the league, if I'm honest with you, because they're not at that level yet, even with Ronaldo. And it's about getting Ronaldo back to the club. So I was with Roy Keane, to be honest, on that one.
Soph, can I just add to that? So, for the question is then, was Ronaldo bought in your eyes to get Ollie over the line on trophies? Because Ollie's had a couple of opportunities and hasn't taken them. And really, I was saying, Soph, that he needs to win something, even if it's the League Cup. He's got to win something to prove that he can do it. What's your thoughts on that one?
I think there was an element to that. I also think, obviously, post the Super League and whatnot and the Glazers out protests that were happening at Old Trafford, I think it was a way of appeasing the fans as well. And we've been crying it now and we still are for a proper CDM. Obviously, we're linked to Rice and players like that. And then Ronaldo coming in, you mentioned Sancho, but I also think that hindered that. I think the fact that Ronaldo came in, that meant we didn't then go in to get a CDM, and I think they were really paying the price for that. Cavani obviously signed a new extension as well. So I think it was pretty obvious Ronaldo wasn't in the plans. And then obviously this happened, and I do think it was a way of the Glazers as well, trying to appease the fans. Obviously bringing Ronaldo home romantically, it was just perfect. Stopping him from going to City as well, it's almost like, we haven't had bragging rights for a while, let's face it. So it's something that we've got over our rivals at the minute. And I just think it was just a way of just keeping the fans a bit quiet for a bit. I genuinely think it was a business idea. Obviously shirt sales, we know it's ridiculous, isn't it? Ronaldo's going to sell shirts and whatnot. And I think you noticed it. Yeah, you noticed, so I mean, on Twitter and whatnot, you saw obviously the protests were massive. And when Ronaldo came in, all of a sudden it went a bit quiet. Do you know what I mean? And I think that it worked in that sense.
Yeah. Lee, I want to